This is Design Futurecast. I'm Maria Lorena Lehman. In this 10th episode, the design experiment and result that we will investigate is called Terrain Focus. It is a digital micrograph that is a photograph taken through a microscope and can be seen at designfuturecast.com/episode 10. That's episode 10. Right now I'm in an architectural space that has an incredibly designed fan. This fan is important to note because not only can you hear it, but it's important to realize that I can feel it. It's cooling the space, and you can hear that it has different speeds as I slow it down or speed it up. And this is really a tool. You can see that it's a tool that helps one to feel or see the environment differently. As it cools the space, it comforts the people within it. And the reason I bring this up is because during the creative process, it's really important to be consciously aware of how you use your tools and to also be very aware of what tools you're using and how they impact the way you see the world. Because the tools that you use and the way that you use them do impact the way you see, experience, and feel the world. And this impacts what you create. And of course, your creations in turn get impacted in terms of how they communicate to the world and make an impact. So in this next design exploration, we're going to uncover how through a unique technique called focus stacking, a tool can help us to see things very differently that we may ordinarily take for granted. And in doing this, the ultimate resulting creation has greater impact to those that experience it. So we'll explore all of this and more in this next design investigation called Terrain Focus. So before I began the work to create this digital micrograph, there were certain things I had in mind that I wanted to discover. I was really intrigued by a micrograph technique called focus stacking. This is where a single photograph is created by merging many photographs of the same object that each focus at different depths upon the object. In other words, this is a process of photographing in layers. So for focus stacking, I wanted to pick a subject that would really be fascinating to explore. And that's when I decided to place salt crystals under the microscope for focus stacking. And once I started, I couldn't wait to see the results of taking something so seemingly ordinary like salt to create an exploratory journey through its makeup and composition. But of course, some preparation and work went into how I created this digital micrograph. To get the salt crystals ready for photography, I placed a pinch of them into a drop of water on a microscope slide. I then let this sit for about 20 minutes to let the water evaporate for a bit. Upon looking through the microscope, what I saw next was incredible. And that's when I began the focus stacking photography process. By focusing and zooming in to each layer of the salt crystals, I was able to create one composite image of all the focus layers into one photograph, and the result is beautiful. In fact, in the photograph, the salt crystals look more like translucent yet shimmery terrain, like rock constructs and formations on a distant planet. And this view got me thinking about creativity, design, and innovation, with certain questions that impact aspects like how you see in order to create, and how you create in order to communicate. But of course, there are questions and insights that this digital micrograph captures and surfaces that really help me to better understand design creativity. For instance, What would an image look like if all layers of a building were visible at once? Or if all video game behaviors were visible at once? Would the image become a jumbled mess? Or would certain patterns and behaviors pierce through the layered and vast amounts of information? As you create your master works, whether you are designing, painting, sculpting, writing, filmmaking, or even game designing, how you see will directly impact what you create, which in turn will impact what your creation communicates. In other words, seeing differently leads to unique communication. Creativity is not just about interpreting a subject or design challenge. It is also about communicating your ideas innovatively. So learn to see uniquely so your master works communicate something new to the world. This means that the way you see directly impacts what you create. And what you create and the processes and tools used to do this directly impact what your design says to the world. As a result of using the micrographic focus stacking technique, it becomes crystal clear that using a design tool, like a camera for instance, to capture what the naked human eye cannot capture on its own, has unlimited benefits. In this age where technology abounds, as it ubiquitously embeds itself in our daily lives, it is important to step back and see through it in new ways. Ask creative questions like, what does your smartphone allow you to see differently? How can you use your creativity or design tools differently? And how can you innovate a new tool to help you see differently? So now I invite you to use different tools to help you see not only more deeply, but also more uniquely into your creative works. In this way, what your creations say to the world will be more profound, beautiful, and meaningful. If you would like to delve deeper into discovering even more great insights to improve your own creative vision and design decision-making, then visit marialorenalehman.com. Discover leading-edge books, courses, and more designs to help you grow your creative genius. All of this and more awaits you at marialorenalehman.com.